Michael, first off, January transfer window, incomings, outgoings, any movement there at all, either way?
Lots of movements. In terms of finalised, I think we're really close on a couple. So I'm hopeful by the end of the day, no doubt, maybe even earlier than that, we'll have one or two across the line.
Outgoings, are you expecting many?
I'm not expecting many, but I just think the nature of obviously the business and the January transfer window up and down the country at all clubs, the reality is when 2 or 3 come through the door, it tends to be that there's 1 or 2 that go the other way. So that we're in discussions with a couple of players, trying to be fair as we possibly can. So I'm sure over the next few days I'll be able to give you a little bit more information about outgoings, but it's just the nature of what it is.
The Shrewsbury game, the home game here, was one of your first in charge. It was a game where they looked a well-drilled and well-organised side. Is that still the same way they go about things?
Yeah, it is. They're very, very difficult to beat. They've got a really good structure to them. Like you said, they 3 centre-halves, big, strong, very athletic. They've got good delivery in wide areas, and obviously they've got decent ability in the middle of the park with the likes of Norburn as well. So, they're a good side. Obviously, it's going to be difficult because of the fact that we're an away team, and our away, obviously, form results is very different to our home form. It's an opportunity for the players really to, I suppose, address what happened last week in terms of the way we started. Yes, I can come here and say we played really well in the second half, which we did, and we looked to threat and we looked to score, but we've got to make sure we do that from the start.
What do you put the poor away form down to? Is it about trying to find a style of play that works away from home, that has been successful here at St Sylvan?
Possibly, but I think some of the away form in terms of performances have been pretty good, almost better than some of the home ones. So I'd like to think that the support we get at home and the atmosphere that we create at home certainly suits us and gives us that little bit of an edge. But it won't be long before we address obviously the situation with making sure that we're winning more games away from home than we're losing them.
The goal, one of the goals last week, obviously came from playing out from the back. There's been a couple of times when it's been shaped playing out from the back. Is that making you rethink that style, or is that down to the personnel you've got, especially up front? You've got nobody to aim for as a target man to go along.
I think it's just part of the process, to be honest with you. I really do. I think if you speak to any coach, manager up and down the country working at different levels, you've got to trust your players, you've got to back them, especially if that's what they want as well. And they all want to progress, they all want to do it in a way that hopefully will take us forward as a club. And you've got to trust them that they make the right decisions. I'm sort of not making them do it every opportunity. I'm giving them the license to pick the right moments to do it. And if we're in a situation where we're being pressed really, really high, very, very quickly from any team up and down the country, they've certainly got my blessing to make sure they make the right decisions, set it up, get organised, and we'll defend from the halfway line. So we've got experienced players in the team who can cope and deal with them type of situations. So you've just got to trust that they don't continue to do that over a regular basis.
It's been one of the major changes to the game this year, seeing the ball not having to go outside the penalty area. Do you think there's any side at the moment who's found a way of making it work?
I think obviously a lot of the Premier League sides have, the likes of Man City and Liverpool and these teams. I can understand why they want to do it, because they want to encourage people to play out and the beautiful game, etc. But the reality is they've started at the wrong end. It should be grassroots, and keep it at grassroots rather than obviously at the top end, because by the time they get into the academies at, well, I was going to say 8 and 9, but it's bloody 5 and 6 now. By the time they get into the academies, their technical ability improves constantly all the time anyway. So I'm not sure we need it at the professional level, but it would be really good to sort of bring it in and keep it in at the grassroots level.
Lovely, thank you.
On the decision making in terms of playing out from the back, how do you improve that? Is it just repetition in training, or?
Well, repetition in training, change the players, bring better players in.
Yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, that's football. We either do it and we do it well, or you have to change it.
Because that comes from within the decision making a lot of the time, isn't it? There's only so much you can.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I can only try to recreate and put the players in scenarios that they might face on a Saturday or a Tuesday evening. I'm doing it for their benefit. It's not for show. I'm not trying to be some smart coach who thinks he's got all the ideas and knows everything. The idea is to suck the opposition onto you, so you can create bigger numbers and higher numbers higher up the pitch. So, it'll just come down to, listen, if they do it and they can do it regularly, they can make better decisions than poor decisions, then stay in the team. If not, they won't.
Has Shrewsbury changed much from when you last played them?
Not massively. I think obviously from a conference point of view, certainly they had a decent enough start to the season. I know they lost midweek, but like I say, that they're just very, very difficult to play against because they've got such a very good structure about them with the three centre halves, and out of possession they become a 5 very, very quickly. But when they do win the ball back and break, the wing backs go really, really quickly, and they've got some dangerous players at the top end of the pitch.
You're hoping they might have an eye on the next Tuesday game, obviously the one game away from playing Liverpool. Yeah,
but I know Sam a little bit, and I'll be surprised if he allows his players to do that.
Michael Bostwick obviously had to come off. How's he doing?
Yeah, not great. He looks he's going to be out for a good period of time again. Possibly 6 to 8 weeks. So.
So is it a recurrence of what he had before?
No, it's a different, but it's the same type of injury, but different leg.
Right.
Don't ask me which one, I forgot.
Oh, right.
But it's a different one.
So, I mean, that's obviously a big blow for you. Is that something you're going to need to try and address, that area of the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at us at the minute, there's only Shaqs and Keane fit and available as natural centre halves. Obviously, we've got Max who can fill in on the left-hand side, but he's more of a left-back. We've got Erds who can do that at times, but you won't really want to do that too often if you could help it. So, yeah, I think it's something that we didn't envisage, and it wasn't a priority at the start of the window, but obviously going forward, we need to make sure that we cover that position.
Just wonder what the situation is with Aaron Lewis at the moment. He's not been in the squad the last couple of games. I know he was on a short-term deal at the start of the season. Are you looking to extend that potentially?
Yeah, we're speaking to Aaron every day. So, yeah, we're in a good place with that. So don't be surprised if that doesn't get sorted in the next few days or so.
Great stuff. Thanks, Michael.
Michael, the stats first, fun enough, Shrewsbury is one of the best away grounds for us, both at the Old Game Meadow and now I think it's the Montgomery's Meadow it's now called, so let's hope that one can be kept up there. Without prejudicing anything that's going to happen in the next 24, 48 hours, do you see the people coming in as being the type of players you want to have to develop and coach as a manager rather than say as a more established player?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, Chris, that would be the type. But I'm also conscious that, and the reality is that when you're developing young players, as a coach, you can develop them on the training ground and then throw them into situation in games that they've got to adapt and get better and improve in. But you need experienced players around them, so it won't just be the youthful young type. You do need experienced players around them, and we've got experienced players in the team, and it's one of them. It's like any football club. The reality is, if you feel that better players become available, you try and improve your squad. It's as simple as that. And all I'd say is that certainly in the middle of the season, like we are now, players that come into the building, they're not necessarily coming in the building to improve the squad, they're coming in the building to improve the 11. And if the players in the building can't cope with that and deal with that, then unfortunately that's tough, because that's life, that's football. And I've never come across a successful team yet in my career as a player or a coach that hasn't had competition for players at the highest level.
Thank you very much.